Hello beautiful people and welcome to the channel Life After Narc. My name's Debbie and I talk about all things to do with narcissistic, abusive and toxic relationships as well as looking at healing from them. And today's video, you want to get back at the narcissist. Have you ever thought about that? Do you think that you want to get back at them? Before I get into the body of the video, if you enjoy it, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Ask your friends and family to subscribe as well. I really need to increase my subscribers so that my listing on YouTube gets a little bit higher. I'm also going to be setting up some one-to-one sessions in the future, as well as responding back to some emails, not all emails. I will put a link to my email address down in the description box below, so that if you do have a story and you do want to ask me a question, I will have a look at it. And some of them I'm hoping to read out on the channel, obviously not using your names or anybody else's names. It will all be completely unnamed. So if that's something you're interested in, please send me an email. So you left the narc, or they left you. They had an affair perhaps. They decided that you were just not good enough anymore. You'd given them all the supply that you possibly could. And suddenly they've gone. Now what? Now what do you do? And then the smear campaign begins. What is the smear campaign? Well, in these modern days of social media, the smear campaign starts on social media, on one of the many platforms that are out there. And it can be their friends, their family that are smearing your name, saying that you are the bad person. You're the one that was the aggressor in the relationship. You're the one that was the perpetrator, and that the narcissist was the victim. Because don't forget, especially if they were a covert narcissist, to everybody else around them, they look like the golden child. They look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. But you know differently, because you're the victim and they're the perpetrator. So perhaps they've even gone to the police and laid false charges against you. And you're like, what? What is this? You know, I was the one that was being pinned to the floor. Perhaps you were the one that was punched. Perhaps you were the one that was sexually abused. Perhaps you were the one that was emotionally, mentally abused. But they get in first and they go to the police and they tell their story. And you're like, you know, I wasn't even going to go there. But now you have to go there to say, you know, you're not the one that did this. They're the one that did this. Generally, these sort of things come to naught because there isn't enough evidence for it to go to the courts. But my suggestion and advice is report it, get it down on file, let the police know, because if they do something like that again in the future, there's a record. All of this smearing causes you so much pain and heartache. It causes you so much anxiety within your body, and you'll probably start to feel ill, stressed, nervous. You may well feel hypervigilant, that you don't want to go out, that you don't want to see your friends and family because they're talking cuck about you, basically. They're just saying things that are not true. And is it worth you standing up for yourself? It's making you angry. Of course it is. Of course you're becoming angry. You're becoming overwhelmed. But is it worth that anger? Is it worth responding to those messages? And you may start to plot and plan as to how you can get back at them, what you can do to hurt them back. But guys, they're the narcissist. They don't care. They are never wrong in their eyes, ever. They are always right. They will always come out on top because they have no empathy. They don't care. So you may well want the world to know, this is what they did to me. Don't be with this person because this is what they'll do to you. You're the victim. They're the perpetrator. But again, is it worth it? Is it worth getting yourself this angry to go out there and put all of this onto social media or to speak to people in person? If I think back to the olden days where we didn't have the internet, we didn't have social media. You'd get women standing over the walls and fences gossiping with each other, or in the shops saying, oh, did you hear about her? She did this, that, and the next thing. And it was always the woman that was made to look like she was wrong, because we have been brainwashed by the patriarchy. We've been brainwashed to believe that the woman is at fault. We know now that this is not true. So what do? This boils down to you, and it's your decision, it's your choice. I can't tell you what to do, but what I can tell you is what I did and what I experienced. So right at the beginning, after he left, some of his flying monkeys and enablers were pretty gross and disgusting towards me over the internet. I thought I'd blocked them all. I really did, but I'd missed some. I have several accounts and I'd missed some. And so this one specific person said to me in one of the comments that she left was that you've never done anything by yourself in your life. Okay. I'm 54 years old. In 2006, I left South Africa on my own and moved back to the United Kingdom. On my own. I brought 10 boxes with me, my suitcases and my guitar, and a couple of big paintings that I had that I wanted to keep. So I'd never done anything on my own. So I hadn't opened my own yoga studio. I hadn't had my own business in South Africa. Both of these I started on my own with my own capital, not with anybody else's capital, no loans. I did it on my own. I was ordained as a minister on my own. I received my Reiki master's degree on my own. So, you know, they are brainwashed by the narcissist. The narcissist obviously told his family that I couldn't do anything on my own. Now, that was true in the last 5 years of the relationship while he was busy devaluing and discarding me, is that I became completely dependent on him. I became very ill. I was unable to work. I had to close down my yoga studio. And this is all because of the narcissist and the dysregulation that the narcissist causes in your life. Unfortunately, these flying monkeys and enablers believe the narcissist. As I say, they're the victim, you're the perpetrator. And it's funny because I had, you would think that your friends would be on your side and they would stick up for you. And I had one friend who I knew from school in South Africa, a male, who sided with him. Didn't know him personally at all, but sided with him. And I was shocked. But then again, I shouldn't have been, because this was also a person that thought that what Marilyn Manson did to his girlfriends, which is out there in the media, you can find it if you Google it and look for it, that he would belittle and physically harm his girlfriends. And this person said to me, but she should have expected it. He was a rock star. That gives nobody the right to hurt, physically hurt, belittle or degrade another person. This is how the patriarchy and misogyny are so ingrained into our society that we think and believe that this is true, that she deserved it. She deserved it because she was drunk. She deserved it because she was wearing a short skirt. She deserved it because she had a low-cut top on. No. Men, control yourselves. Sorry. Not all men. What I've been working out as well is, this is aside from them going off my script now, but what I've been working out and from looking at other areas that I follow in life, I follow a lot of politics, and here in the UK and I know in the States, things are very decisive. There's half of the population that's good and half of the population that's bad. That half of the population that's good, they're obviously the empaths. The half of the population that's bad, they're obviously the people with the narcissistic traits. Now, I'm not calling them narcissistic personality disorders because I can't diagnose that. It has to be diagnosed by a clinician. But I'm sure you know and understand what I mean. 5248. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, you will know. If not, just Google 5248. So this person and their flying monkeys and their enablers are talking about you behind your back. They are smearing your name. They are making you look awful. The best thing that you can do is ignore it. Now, that's the best revenge you can have, is to ignore it, move on, live your life, become the best version of yourself that you can be. Live your full, authentic life, because that will disrupt and disturb the narcissist more than anything. But sometimes we have to speak our truth. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't speak your truth. I did. Later on, months after he'd left me, I started walking and raising money for charity. And while I was doing the walks, I would film myself and speak. And I spoke a lot about what I'd gone through with him. And it was very cathartic for me. It really, really helped me. And you may not want to do it live. I did it live over Facebook. You may not want to do it live. You may want to write it down in a journal or speak to a friend. Perhaps you even want to record yourself saying these things as if you're speaking to the narcissist, and that's perfectly fine. But I remember being contacted by the Narc's new supply and being told that this isn't how it was, and I didn't know anything, and so on and so on. I thought to myself, you know what? I was with this person for 12 years. Of course I know everything. Of course I knew what they were doing. So it's up to you and how strong you feel. For me, as I say, it was cathartic. It started a whole new journey in my life. It started me doing these videos. It started me now signing up for studying in October psychotherapy, which I can't wait to do. I'm so looking forward to having those initials behind my name so that I can go on and teach others and help others around narcissism, help them to be the best version of themselves that they can be. We shouldn't have to live like this. We shouldn't be discarded and dismissed by these people. We should live in our power and be strong. So go and live your life. Be the best version of you that you can be. Heal. Go on your healing journey. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Facebook, Debbie Wolf Reeves. I'll put a link in the description box below so that you can go and follow me there. And be the best version of you that you can be. Live your life to the fullest. Don't let this despicable, horrific, vampiric, narcissistic person ruin you. You're so much better than they are. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and share with your friends and family. I hope to see you next time. Blessed be.